everybody. In this video I just wanted to mention about quadrants when you use your calculator to compute arctangents. So you really have to be careful because the calculator doesn't know the difference between quadrant 1 over here and quadrant 3 over here. Nor does the calculator know the difference between quadrant 2 here and quadrant 4 here. So here's an example. You can try this with your calculator. So let's say you have this vector a, 1I plus 1j, right? So you know that if you just look at it, like that's supposed to be 45 degrees, right? If you punch in your calculator, like this is arctangent of, say, ay over ax, and then you put the numbers, right? Then the calculator says 45 degrees, right? Which is in quadrant 1. And then if you know that the x component is positive, the y component is positive, it's supposed to be in quadrant 1. Everything's good. Okay, how about this example now? So we have the x component is negative, the y component is negative, right? So you know, you just look at the picture, the answer is supposed to be here in quadrant 3, but when you punch in your calculator, let's say by over bx, the calculator will tell you 45 degrees, which is in quadrant 1. And you look at it like that, that doesn't sound right. I know the answer is supposed to be in quadrant 3. So you know you have to add 180 degrees to like flip it over from quadrant 1 to quadrant 3. Quadrant 3, right? You have to do that yourself. Okay, so you have to be careful, because just look at this, right? 1 over 1, negative 1 over negative 1. That's why the calculator doesn't know. Same story here, right? Like say vector c is in quadrant 2, because the x component is negative, the y component is positive. So if you go like this, plug in the numbers, 1 over minus 1, oops, arctangent 1 over minus 1, and then the calculator says probably negative 45 degrees, which is over here, right, in quadrant 4. Quadrant 4. But then you're like, nope, I know it's supposed to be in quadrant 2, so you have to flip it over 180 degrees this way, right? So you know that you need to add 180 degrees to get to quadrant 2 where you know it's supposed to be. Similarly here, right, let's say you want this angle. And then, there you go, negative 1 over 1, and then the calculator says negative 45, which is in quadrant 4. Alright, then you're like, yeah, that's right, it's supposed to be in quadrant 4. Maybe you don't want a negative number, so you can always add 360. Right? You can always add 360 or 720. It's the same angle, but just if you want a number that's positive, then you can just add 360. Okay, so try these yourself just to be familiar with your own calculator as well. Okay, so thanks for listening. I'll see you on the next video.